Sit down at home, decided to watch some TV, listening to the news by Gordon Mosley, and listening to the things that he say he trapped in tonight, paying close attention to make sure I hear it right. Now when I hear the things that he mentioned on the news, I had to declare, them kind of thing got me confused. I hear some things where the ERC noticing, and it convinced people that people they learning nothing. We hear so many times about them big name calling, and they say we are still pretend that they didn't learn nothing. But once you're black and you just decide to say a word or two, bet your life on that. They say we are still coming for you. Listen to the things you just hear on social media. Only one set of people allowed to talk in one Guyana. I still say nothing black people in learning. But this is my concern. I hope one day black people will learn. ERC that I would like to know if any of its members happens to be black people. And if that is the case, I want them to answer this call. Tell me how come none of them ain't got no voice at all. You're showing signs of weakness and you're afraid to be fair. And we see the same thing keep happening year after year. And the day will come when all this nonsense will stop. That will be the day when black people decide to wake up. Not so long ago, something terrible happened. This young Indian man want to kill out all black people by poison. But if his shoes was on the other foot, would have been a big threat. But up to this day, this ERC can do nothing as yet. How come it's only black people committing cybercrime? When pretty on social media fussing people all the time. I still saying black people in learning. But one day will come when the entire table will turn. Issues we see that fail to condemn because these people think that the law is only for them. And anybody else who decide to file a complaint, they go call you a racist and don't want to hear nothing. Plenty complaint from time to time has been brought to their attention, but because of this one-sided cybercrime is why they don't show any concern. There's only one set of people that they really care about, and black people must take the abuse and shut them out. that he Amsterdam went to go just recently for an issue that was highlighted by the same ERC. And with breakneck speed, the police decide to jump on his case. Without a search warrant, they went and search up the man's place. Let us all agree that black people under attack. Different laws for you and me just because we black. I still singing, black people in London. To all my black friends, we must put a stop to all this nonsense. Cybercrime laws to keep people silent, just to make sure nobody criticizes this government. And while that is a very clear case of dictatorship, it is no surprise that the ERC ignoring it. Why only the chosen few is allowed to have things their way, when people like me and you must have nothing to say? And when ministers in the government start to launch their attack, you never hear this ERC come out and talk about that. They send a policeman all the way to New York. This fella went up there to serve a customer on with forward. Under this government decide to fabricate a case, but like they forget the warning they get from black t-shirt jails. The vice president described that he use as a low life. Because of this kind of abuse, he don't have a wife. I still singing, black people in learning. Just the other day, I hope your man see help is on the way.
Don't be a victim. Beat the heat with EC crystals. Party ice in large and small quantities. Call 682-7981 or visit us at Club Twilight, Sideline Dam, Buxton North. EC crystals, pure party ice. It's karaoke and oldies night this and every Thursday with Al Christie and popular DJs at Club Twilight, Sideline Dam, Buxton North.
Here, trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in Tongley, looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, and then of course the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned, the decor is on point, the music's on point, everything's on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But you know, whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. This is Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too.
Stop running around like headless chicken. Go to Ashton's Marketplace for whole and cut chicken, beef, pork, processed meats like bacon, beef franks, smoked ham, ground pork, calabresa, and lots more. Ashton's offers wholesale and retail. Check them out. Call 613-2332 or WhatsApp 434-327-3955. Ashton's Marketplace at 72 Rob Street, Border.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in Tongley, looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. This is Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you. All right, so you might be wondering where we are, still in Buxton at Club Twilight. That's where we are. So Club Twilight also has like an Airbnb as well. So you could come, drink, drunk, and come in the back here and lie down. Look at that. Look at that. Perfection. And the people come in the room and so on. The bed sheet matching the blind, matching the carpet, matching the this, matching the that. We know but we things in Buxton don't play with we. So definitely if you want to come and you may be having a wedding or whatever and you just want to overnight and just have a good time because you're going to be drunk. We got too much road accidents. So you definitely want to come, drink, have a good time. They have several rooms that you can rent. You have your toilet, you have your bath, you have your sink, you have your dining area, you have the bed. This is nice. I like it. Anyways, to my friends and my family, if you're looking for me, I'll be overnighting. Also for those persons who are traveling in from overseas, you want a nice, cozy place out of town, then Club Twilight, call them up, look them up on social media. They have their own Facebook page, and ensure that you come up the side and have a good time. Have a good time. Have a good time. I'm sorry. That's it.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop, located in the East Rheinveld Market Meat Section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more. Planning a party? Worry no more. We have all the supplies you need. At EC Party Rentals, we have folding chairs, folding tables, square tables, round tables, long tables, short tables, big tables. We have chairs, red chairs, gold chairs, white chairs, crystal chairs, chairs of all type, throne chairs. What you want, we have. Food warmers, coolers, ice, beverages. At EC Party Rentals, we have what you need to have a good time. You plan the party, we do the work. Call us 622-5933. Easy Party Rentals. Let's keep your party going. Yes, Oldies fans, Club Twilight and Blue Ribbon present Thursday Dancing Oldies. Real Big People Oldies from Thursday, February 27th at Club Twilight Sideline and Buxton. Yes, come on out. Let's go way back to the past. Thursday Night Oldies at Club Twilight Sideline and Buxton North with Blue Ribbon the Boss and the Club Twilight family. Come on down.
Other people must take the abuse and shut them out. Did actually Amsterdam met to go just recently for an issue that was highlighted by the Syrian Sea.
Hi, y'all, morning, neighbor, morning. How y'all do? How is everybody? Everybody say, yeah. Morning, welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. It's 7 hours 37 on the 25th day of February in the year 2025. It is 2 days after the official Republic Day date. That's 2 days past the 23rd of February. Of course, the 23rd of February fell on a Sunday. And in Ghana, when we have a holiday falling on a Sunday, then it's observed, it's granted to citizens on a Monday. And so yesterday was not a working day. And I decided to take my yesterday, but I worked, I really worked. I just didn't come live with you guys, but I worked, I did a lot of work yesterday. I worked hard all weekend. Yes, and so even today, you might not believe it, but work started for me since before 5 this morning. And so I'm just off the road. Well, not just. I came off the road in time to come onto the program. I got back in about 7 o'clock and so on. So yeah, well, y'all see me in front of these, this microphone. I remind you, it's a dedication, it's an effort, it's a project. I've dedicated myself to doing it. Good. If I don't do it, either something out of my control or a day like yesterday when I thought, you go at it all the time, you go hard all the time. Well, give yourself a break. So I took a break yesterday. But how y'all been? How y'all do for the mash weekend and so on? A lot of you mash up yourself and mash up your money. I hope I see a lot of people mash up the vehicles and mash up their lives and so on. I hope all of you are here got through the weekend safely. I hope your relatives and friends got through the weekend safely. And, you stayed safe. Sometimes the darnest of things happen and you wonder, how did this happen? Like right here on the sideline down, we have a resident's vehicles parked on the parapet. Sideline now we're talking about, And the vehicle came from the public road and lashed it off the parapet into the trench. Sometime about 6 o'clock yesterday morning. Another car. So you ask yourself how these things happen. If not out of recklessness, a lot of drunk driving and so on. I mean, a lot of people don't like when you talk about these things, but money got to make. Smart man got to hustle. But smart man got to hustle in a responsible way, and the authorities have to ensure that smart man hustling in a responsible way, our lives are preserved. And what am I talking about? How can a human being function? And y'all could tell me, because I hope there are lots of young people on this program this morning, or y'all got young people in y'all homes, so they can ask that question so I can get the answer. How can a human being function to operate a motor vehicle after being in a dance hall, imbibing, all kinds of things. And I say all kinds of things because it's not only rum that's drinking dance hall, not only alcohol. Molly does get popped and sugar does get licked and marijuana does get sucked and all kinds of things, right? So it's not just alcohol, but people imbibe and people, they do all kinds of things. They engage in all kinds of activities. But picture you going into a dance hall, let's say at 10 o'clock in the night, and you're coming out at 6 in the morning. It's 10 until 12 and 6, 8 hours. There's a shift you pull in there, a night shift. But you're not just pulling a night shift sitting at a desk or, doing the security rounds. You're pulling a night shift. Dulling your senses. You're using alcohol, you're using narcotics. Even if you're not using unit space, you're inhaling secondhand smoke and all of that. And so after 8 hours in a dancer, at least 8 hours, they may say, you come out and you get into a vehicle to operate it. What are the likely outcomes? I'm predicting at least one out of 10 persons will get themselves into problems. And so here what I think the police should be doing. First and foremost, let me reflect on the Ramjatan Corky, which said all dances and so on, clubs and so on, should be closed by 2 o'clock in the morning. I think that was the time Ramjatan had. I think it was reasonable. If you're 8 o'clock worker, you leave the party at 2, you get home by 3, you have 5 hours, well, not 5 hours, you got about 4 hours to rest and then go to work if you choose to go to work. But forget all of that. I think they should shut them down by 2 o'clock. Reasonable time. Why? Number one, it reduces the possibility of people going without rest for an extended long time, and then they operate a motor vehicle and they get themselves into problems because their senses are affected. Number two, it allows the people in the neighborhood to get some rest. The people who chose not to go to the dance, they are entitled to some rest. They have a right to quietude in their homes because they chose not to go to the dance. So even if you're going to invade their homes with the loud noises and so on, at least consider by 2 o'clock to give them some time so that they can catch some rest, because they didn't go to the dance for obvious reasons, or in many instances, for obvious reasons, they have things to do next morning, so they need a rest. Number three for me, the longer people stay in one place, imbibing, among other things, the likelihood they're going to get themselves in problems with each other. Because alcohol has a debilitating effect, and somebody gonna lose their senses and do something stupid. Like take shot all night, because I got nines. Oh, you could take out your nines and lick shot, I can take out my... What is gun's name? I don't know. Me Uzi and lick shot. Me AK and lick shot. Me XR is a motorcycle, no? Me XLR and lick shot. You know, and the foolishness goes on. The people in the neighborhood are affected even worse than those who are in the dance. Because the reality is, the people in the neighborhood didn't sign up for that, they didn't go to dance. And even when you decide to stop the dance at 2 o'clock, how about policemen or ranks being present in the locale to monitor the state of people who are going to drive vehicles? I know it happens in the US. I've been told that it happens in the US. When the clubs are closed, the police are right around the place to administer what they call it sobriety tests. If they see you come staggering out the club and you're guarding a vehicle, obviously, they're there to save you from trouble and save somebody else's life. How about we being proactive in this country? Respect the road. That's a signboard I got all over the place with some traffic policeman on it or some commander or something. Respect the road. A lot of people ain't got respect for their lives. How they respecting road? They ain't got respect for other people's lives. So can we appeal? I'm appealing. Can we appeal to those who are in charge to exhibit some common sense? And let your friends and colleagues and families and favorite understand, hey man, it's not that we don't like you. It's not that we don't believe you are entitled to fun and folly. But we believe that there has to be a limit. And you must have consideration for the people in the environment, in the locale. So we allow you to have the dance. You could bring the biggest, loudest set that you want. Forget noise nuisance and noise pollution and so. That if other people throw up a set in the yard, a domestic set, and they turn it up a little too hard in the yard, and the neighbor call you, everyone go down there. Because of noise nuisance. Forget all of that. We allow you to bring the biggest set in the yard, shake down all the people, glass, wear and so in their homes and so on and so forth. But let me do it for a limited time. By 2 o'clock, let the party shut down. Never mind if the next day is a holiday or the next day is matrimony. Everybody is entitled to quietude in their space. They choose not to go to dance, keep them out to the dance. Right? That's my little concern this morning about that. And in that regard, I got a video to show you. And y'all look keen because I expect the ERC to pay attention to the comments in this video. And then just like they are interested in finding those who comment on CAMS TV, I hope they find an interest in commenting or in finding the people who are making some kinds of remarks on this video. This video is one of a police officer or officers, policemen, investigating a call of noise nuisance, and so on. And so I want y'all follow some of the comments. There's a particular comment I want y'all to see. Good. Because it's one of them comments that say black man hungry belly. Right? And the stereotyping of policemen. Good. Stereotyping of policemen as hungry belly, them hungry belly black police, and so on and so forth. All right, let's play the video. or it needs some sound.
Have license, and I have nothing, it can't drive, and I'm not gonna take that on the road. I'm not stupid. Park there, the vehicle parked there, and I have insurance, and I have license, and I have nothing, it can't drive, and I'm not gonna take that on the road. I'm not stupid.
Yes.
All right, sir. This conversation.
For what?
Like this.
No. Now usually you tell me to turn on the music and I turn it down. You can't take me to the station, I turn it down. I didn't break the law. You come and you warn me and I turn it down. Where did I still play the music?
Now this is not warning, so now this is your currency.
No, I know the law. You come, you warn me, say, okay, you get somebody said your neighbor said turn on the music and I did turn it down. I turn it down. I didn't start playing.
My name is Stopper.
Yes.
Hello?
I refuse to come and
say.
say.
No, get about it. I done a report, man. On a report.
Yes, I refuse to come to the station.
What's your name, sir?
M. Chan Prasad, Fire Treaty Ram North, West Coast Demerara. This is my premises. Mm-hmm. No, then I know that. One or two stars. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 neighbors.
Listen, when them are playing night time, nobody has come. No. Okay.
No. Relax.
All right, several comments I want to make on that. We can go back to the video just now. I want us to see the comments still. Well, let me make these comments to start with. If you look at that video, this is looks like a predominantly, or looks, let me deal specifically. It's an Indian family that the police went to. Having received a complaint of noise nuisance. Butas taking the Guyana police, the vice president and the PPP government and the Guyana police force to court yet sue them over the diversity and ethnic something policy. Now remember that? The policy says that, listen, the police force must reflect the population. And so we want to see more Indo-Guyanese at the head of the police and so on and so forth. Go read the details in the newspaper. All the claims that Butas made against this ethnic diversity policy that they were instructed to implement at the Guyana police force. Now let's assume this policy is implemented because we see what's going on at the head of the Guyana police force there. A lot of African Guyanese have been, what is the word? Anyhow, a lot of people jump a lot of African Guyanese to get to the top there. And so you have a lot of Indo-Guyanese in the leadership of the Guyana police force. Some people argue that they had a right to be there. Some people, as Butas is claiming, say it's an unfair advantage they were given by this policy. Look at the 3 policemen who went to respond to this complaint of noise nuisance. Do you see any diversity there? Do you see any diversity there? I don't see any. And so the first thing I'm thinking, there needs to be some cultural awareness and ethnic sensibilities, if you can call it that, in policing. You are sending 3 police ranks, all African Guyanese, to respond to a complaint coming about an Indian home. I am of the opinion you should have at least 1 Indo-Guyanese police among the ranks there. So even if they choose to disrespect them, black man, the possibility is they're going to show them respect for their own and listen to the reasoning of their own. Likewise, if they had gone to an African Guyanese home, I would have expected not 3 Indo-Guyanese to turn up there, but at least 1 Afro-Guyanese in the midst. It's being culturally aware. And so there's no display of cultural awareness in that situation. So you got 3 black men turn up at a Kolima house for 30 turn on in music, and they want to hear the station because he's disturbing the peace. You saw the video, you see what ensued. You refuse to go. Them not no right playing nowhere. He turned on in music, and that's all he's required to do because you know the law, etc., etc. Look at the comments. There's one whose name is Roxanne Monroe, who said, why I don't go look for thief and leave the man alone? Right? Why I don't go look for thief and leave the man alone? Another one responded to that and say, Roxanne, how you could tell thief to go look for thief? And so Flower Wonderland is implying that the policemen there are thieves. And so you can't tell thief, you can't tell them black thief in uniform for go look for thief because all of them are the same thing. And I know they got some bright people at the ERC. So I want to know what the ERC's response to that will be. I want to know what the police's response to that will be. Because I'm racist, and I'm xenophobic, and I anti-ERC, and I everything. I want the ERC to look into that. What gives Roxanne Monroe and Flower Wonderland, whoever Flower Wonderland is, the right to insinuate that the policemen who were sent there to execute their duties are thieves because they're black? I'm going to the other one. The other one takes the pie for me. Here you signal on some Prince Anthony. Just to play a little music. There were big guns at the people house. They should handle this more better. I agree that they don't need to go with big guns. But it's a society of guns now, isn't that so? And so you have to protect yourselves at all times. If the soldiers that have gone to the border for the resupply mission and recognized that they needed to protect themselves at all times, right? They might have been not injured because they would have been wearing armors, bulletproof vests, as we like to say. They would have been properly attired and fully armored and armed because they were close to enemy territory. I don't know what the authorities think, but that's what I think. Dwayne Faber says, I need to go and report it, make a formal report. No report, no crime. Dwayne Faber, who reported the broadcast on CAMS TV to the ERC and landed me before the courts. According to the ERC, nobody reported it. According to Shemuel Fanfare, he was viewing the program or something to that extent and came upon some comments and referred them to the chief investigating officer, whatever his name or whoever, and they decided to investigate, etc., etc., and they caused me to be charged. Huh? So the question is, I am making a formal complaint on this program. I'm drawing it. As a matter of fact, let me tell you this. Those charges came after Kritik was ranting and raving about my program on one of his morning shows. I'm ranting and raving about these comments now. So let's see if the ERC has the same yardstick. I'm of the opinion they don't. You know? How about that? I'm of the opinion they don't. So let's see about these, let's see if they have the same yardstick.
Samuel Fanfare, I hope he is listening so that he can come upon these views. And refer them to whatever the investigating officer's name is, so that they can do what they got to do in terms of investigating this. How about that? Anyways, I'm not going to spend too much more time looking for the comments. Like I said, I was reading a few and sharing them with you. But there's this one that took the pipe for me. It says, "Gia fried rice." You know what he said? What the commenter said? "Give you a fried rice." Give you a fried rice. Again, what does that insinuate? Them three hungry belly black man. According to them, harass the Kulubai because you play loud music. And so in order to get rid of them, look at Paul Ragabir. Paul Ragabir said the policeman needs a raise. The policeman needs a raise, 5,000. Look at the comment there. Right? So the policeman needs a raise, 5,000. In the same vein that one say, give you fried rice. I await the public declaration of the DRC. The last time when we played that video, sometime after we saw a press release saying we are looking into this issue. The lady at Amazonia Mall, I think they said she is that. I said the only good black man and one dead one. Right? I just want you to pay attention to those. Don't go no way. Let them summons you for court. Of course, that's your lawyer talking to you. Good. Look at Bobby Hardin in legit. It's money they want. The one thing I've come to recognize in this country, and y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, is that whenever it comes to the law on Indo-Guyanese, they gang up. They're always right. They're never wrong. Indo-Guyanese don't, in a public way, condemn Indo-Guyanese about the wrongdoing. They always back them up. But on the flip side, the same Indo-Guyanese would take African Guyanese to the cross, and they will be accompanied by African Guyanese, joining them to take African Guyanese to the cross. The behavior wrong, man. Well, I would like African Guyanese to take a page out of the book. Because if one set of people could behave as they will and get away with it, I think the other set should try the same thing. Guyana is we own. It's one people, it's one nation, it's one destiny. So if one set of people can break the law with impunity, I think the others should try to do the same thing. What do you think? Or the ERC should really do some work for Guyanese money. The government should really do some work for Guyanese money, not spend time monitoring individuals micromanaging institutions. They should really do some work for Guyanese money. Which kind of serious government locks children out of a sports ground because they requested assistance from a quote-unquote philanthropist. Somebody who got a little money to give away, share around whatever. Even in Colombia, Pablo Escobar was spreading his wealth. I never read one day where the government, the Colombian government actually tried to prevent Escobar from assisting in the national football team. Because apparently he was a football fan, he was causing to be established and supporting football teams around the country and so on and so forth. Even the national football team. I don't see any place, I have not read any place where the government prevented it or even attempted to prevent it. They could say perhaps they were in bed with Pablo Escobar. In Guyana, a man who has been reaching out, or who people, disadvantaged people have been reaching out to get help, and he has been generous to them. Turn up to give assistance to a football team that requested assistance from him, only for the team to be locked out of the sports ground. Because the powers that be, Bacalayan and the rest, determined that, hey, this man should not be allowed to upstage us, despite the fact that we are not doing what we're supposed to do. I remember policy coming out of the Ministry of Education, man in Satira Gyal, where that says if anybody wants to donate or contribute anything to the school, they must first get permission from the Ministry of Education. In response to that same person giving gifts to school at that time. And the gifts were better than those that were being given to the schools by the government utilizing the people's money. So like the policies in sports and education and a lot more things, housing and everything, will be shaped according to how this man behaves. And so this man should be the director, the CEO of the government. Let them emulate his behavior. If there can be anything more petty in this country than that, I bet you it won't come from the PPP. That is not the lowest of low yet. It is not the lowest of low. When you look at the PPP's behavior, you know that they're running scared. They're scared of so many things. When the PPP can take time out to attack an individual who is assisting the lesser fortunate, they have not, who have reached out to him. You know, something is really, really touching them. And that thing is the cries of the people that is being highlighted. No, I endorse nobody. I like the average disadvantaged person who would rather this body for president because he just give me things. I'm not about things. I'm about principles. I have my own opinion. On the doings of this individual and the past, present, and future of this individual. I have my opinions on that. But we have to examine the attitude and behavior of our government and hold them accountable. And from where he's sitting, they ain't looking good. They ain't looking good. We got to call him out for the abuses. In which serious democracy do you have a national celebration, a national observance like Mashramani, the country's 55th Republic anniversary? And only the government and its friends, favorites, and families are invited to participate in the national ceremony or ceremonies. It makes serious democracy that happens. And the citizens sit on the laurel and they stay quiet. And the opposition members of government, because they are part of government, they are part of the National Assembly, they are part of the legislature, sit in a corner and whimper. They didn't invite us. Which serious democracy that can happen? And the minister who is responsible for coordinating such events is not asked to resign. Y'all tell me, got to be Guyana, only Guyana. And so again, Batilion, Charles Ramson, has failed. Has exposed his hand. His slip is showing. Again, this might be for the fourth time, since the PPP is back in office, that they failed to invite the members of the opposition formally to national observances. You know where they also failed to invite them to? The energy conference that has just concluded. Assuming it is concluded, I know it was a few days on. They failed to invite them. An energy conference being hosted by the government of Ghana, an oil producing country. And the people who might be the government in waiting are not invited. And that is allowed to slide. People are only whispering. That is allowed to slide. In some places, that damn conference wasn't going to go on because people were going to storm it. But it has gone on. A lot of declarations were made. A lot of things were said. But opposition representatives weren't there to be part of that conference. But we good with that. I didn't hear the government issue an excuse or an apology for that. But I certainly heard them attempt to blame the director of culture, Ms. Boson or Boatswain, whichever one you want to call it, prefer, for failing to issue the invitation to the opposition. Well, hear me. In case you don't know, Batilion just looking for another black person to throw under the bus. Because those in that Department of Culture, that ministry will tell you that Batilion micromanages everything and has to get the list of invitees and has to sign off on the list of invitees. And the buck stops with Batilion. Batilion instructs who should be invited. And so if the opposition wasn't invited, it means they weren't intended to be invited because he never issued the instruction to invite them. And so don't throw it on the director of culture. Acknowledge it for what it is. Own it as your own baby because that is what it is. These folks are treating the business of Guyanese as a private domain. And are being excessive in the dictatorial attitudes. And don't give a rat's tail about the embarrassment that they bring into this country, much less themselves, or much more themselves. But Guyanese are sitting and we are quiet on it. I noticed there are a series of protests against Trump's executive orders and this and that and the other. That is what happens in a democracy. What is happening here is nothing close to democracy. Nothing. Somebody says it's a caste system. I don't know. I want to believe it's worse than caste. But there's a solution on the road. And that solution has to be a determined the PPP out of office. You want to go live? I'm about to open up the lines. No, I don't. Who, sir? Okay. You want to go live? Otherwise, I can't talk to you now. I'm going to put you live or continue the program. Which one you want? Good, all right. Yeah, so you're on. Share your thoughts with the viewers and I listen along.
There's something. I'm listening to the program all the time, but one of the things I want to tell you, right? The PPP believe they could buy people. But I want you to know, right? This election here, they have to work. No matter what they try to do, they're still vindictive to their own people and other people. They want to control you, dictate, and everything, and it is very bad. A dictator government can't rule for everybody. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah. Otherwise we can talk later.
Good. I get out the program at about 9:30. You can call me after. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the lines have been open. The lines are open. You're free to call and let's talk about these things. This and that. It's Monday morning, this and that. I see one, listen, man, I must apologize, you know. I'm not big on apologies because I usually say the damage is already done. Right? The damage is already done. So why do the deed and then apologize? Because you could. Huh? But in the instance of Rakesh Singh, I have to offer him an explanation. You see, a contract is a contract. And so when you sign a contract, people are expected to do specific performance. We agree to this, we agree to that. You do your part, I do my part. Once you fulfill your end, I fulfill my end, we can go a separate place. And so let me explain to Rakesh. Well, I never mind you. I never mind you, Rakesh. The arrangement that you came out of was a business arrangement me and your mother had. In other words, we had a fair pitching arrangement. And so she was supposed to take care of you, who became the problem. And since she didn't, I can't continue to contribute to that problem. That wasn't a contract. So I understand your vex, I understand you feel and regret, you understand, I mind you. But don't come calling me a jumbie. Miss telling Daddy, well, by default, because that wasn't the arrangement, Rakesh. So I ask you, Mama, who jumbie this? Call your life.
Yeah, good morning to you. Good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters. And can I announce my name?
You do it, man. Yes.
My name is Black Garden, calling in this morning. Now, serious. Let me remind my black brothers and sisters. The PPP control the business people, and the PPP control the business people. The PPP control the business people, and the PPP control what government. They will never remove that 2 o'clock. After that 2 o'clock. Because they all are one. Let me remind my black brothers and sisters that when the Holy Woman from God, we said that on Rebellica, on Rebellica thing. Jadio introduced it and strengthened it and let people know you have all right for say. Where was that flat garden? When the President Ali, the man with 19 charge, I call him, the man with 19 charge, first went to Parliament. One of the media asked him, Ajayo, do you believe that the opposition could come to Parliament? He said, I don't know. My goodness. But what I do know, they will come out to eat the food. Fine, put enough flat garden to explain it fine. Them hungry home. Them hungry, they're going to come out and eat the food. That is something what the head, I always said, when the head corrupt, the whole body corrupt. The leader of PPP corrupt, so all them supporters and culpable corrupt. When flat gardeners use the word calling, black man, I fight for them. And I fight you down. I tell you, don't let flat garden. When flat garden does said, a good colleague is a dead one, black man, I fight for them. Now the colleague girl comes and hey, black man, one good black man, dead one. Are you still there?
Yes, we are.
1 more minute. We go out and thank Mr. Winston Jordan this morning for what she has done. What Mr. Winston Jordan did. Mr. Winston Jordan, on the behalf of me and my niece and nephew, who are 18 years old, could receive $100 before they're dead. Get something from God forbid. Get something from the idle money. Because of Mr. Winston Jordan, make it possible. If you're listening this morning, thank you. I love to give credit where credit is. Nobody never come out and said nothing but thank Mr. Winston Jordan for letting son and doctor who are 18 years old, $100,000 in an army. And he goes so far and said, look, and the government must provide for even to them, homeless must get the money too. That is why I love this program, #1 program, because this is the only program that gives Flat Garden for talk and something you manage me too and tell me, hey, stop that nonsense. But it's tough love for Flat Garden. I love that. Let me correct Mr. Wayne for the night program for me. Oh, we must and you must count the social media to make the government. No, nonsense, Wayne. Nonsense. I love you. But nonsense. It's not the media. It was the media. They were getting money since 2021, 2022, 2023. Because of Mr. Winston Jordan, make every young 18-year-old get that money. You're supposed to say, thank Mr. Winston Jordan. You see, black people don't like to give credit when it belongs to. Black people love to call them so much. That's why they take advantage of us because they know they could get away with murder. We still love them. When a young black boy come out, oh, this is me, 100,000 check. Thank God for the government is good. I laugh. Why I laugh? Because I say, look at that fool. My little young black brother, look at that fool. Praising the wrong person. That you only give money because of election. When he mentioned 40,000, but it's not because of no media. But because of Mr. Winston Jordan, who said it is more better and wise that everybody gets something. Let every 18-year-old get something. Why no one can come out and thank Mr. Winston Jordan? And to all those teenagers who get $100,000, it is no excuse now for you to have a book in your name. I'm sharing what my grandmother teaching me as a young man growing up. That $100,000, you all could get a bank book. Each one of you, I put $25,000 inside there, leave it there. You don't have to mind it. But 2-3 years you go back, you will see that couple more thousand on it, and you could even start a business because the bank are going to lend you money on that. And whatever you begin to feed into it. Young people have just a bank book with $100,000. Use that money wisely, not foolishly. Also, Remember your grandmother, your grandfather. If one of them alive, or one of them, give them a Granger. Remember, they was there for you the all time, and then the first blessing you get from God, $100,000. Give your mother and your father to eat, both of them alive. It's only 20,000. So what? They invest more than 20,000 to you. Give them 5,000 a Granger, we call it. And then you will see the blessing. But don't forget, get the bank book. Get the bank book. That is my message this morning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your call. The last remain number 6225993 is the number to call. It's 26 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour on the 25th day of February in the year 2025.
Laraki, good morning. Something is wrong with your audio. Something is definitely wrong. We are not hearing nothing. Please rectify that. Thank you.
I got some stories I'm going to tell you all eventually. You can't talk them now. But you're going to hear them. Call it on.
Morning to that. Could you hear me well?
Clearly.
Good. Where is the, I'm referring to this woman, the senior woman who made that statement the other day here. He said, please not share it. Right? But where is it? We're not sharing when Obunsi and Rhonda said what they said. Where is that? They went right to the rest of them. Where are the Indian politicians or the Indian parliamentarians on the opposition side to come out and condemn that? Are they happy with racial hostility in that country? Where is the German Pagero to come out and condemn that? Don't tell me that this woman said what she said because the woman crazy and the woman done something. This is our excuse as black people when we hear certain people say certain things. She said it, it's outdated, and it's making rounds, and it is an echo from the PPP party on a whole. None of them came out to say something. Continue. Let them continue to encourage racial hostility, economic apartheid. Continue to do it. You see those same people, they like to skim the teeth about straight heads and double stuff. Those same people are going to grow up and realize who are the oppressors, who are oppressing them, who have them in that state. And it wouldn't be nice. It will not be nice. We're going to get a mirror of what went on in Botswana and other places. We get a mirror of what went on in certain townships in South Africa whenever white people pass through. Whenever white farmers touch certain places, what happened to them? So continue not to condemn racial hostility. I'm talking to all Indians on the opposition side, right? The Ghanaians and everybody, right? All of you I'm speaking to, and all of you slave catchers, the lickers, I'm talking to all of you. Continue, and if you think that you're sitting happy and you're comfortable in your home, those same straight heads, this is going to mold and turn out into something very big. And those same straight heads and done stuff are going to make your lives and your children's lives miserable. Miserable, because racial hostility and economic apartheid that is happening in that country is leading towards this. So don't stop it now. Enjoy your life. Drive a big car, live in a big house, etc., etc. Wait and see what's going to happen if you don't jump in right now. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, caller. I get in an issue here. I want to play a voice note. It's challenging me right now.
Listen,
But I think we got to
you, my brother. And I think you're doing such a great job that you and all don't believe or know what it is you and Dr. HINDS doing. And I can't find words. But anyhow, let me get at the point. Last night I watched Dr. HINDS show with this African guy. His name is James Button. And he's a superstar. But he is acting as a superstar. Karate, this man make an utterance stating that from Chile come right down to Ifan. Ifan is the only man who does go out in community and meet people and hitting them on the chest. And so what wrong with that? What wrong with that? Not say anything. But Forbes used to go in festival city on horse.
Very.
Moving around and give people seedling the plant. If you don't know about that, but somebody who know about these things should edify him. These people in Mecca, whose house was advantage, break down the houses and the assets and the life crops and all kind of thing. Them people wasn't working hard. Them people wasn't depending on the state. They wasn't depending on the government. And what the government do? Karaki, this guy who was on Dr. HINDS last night, is a disgrace. Karaki.
Morning, every morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Good morning, are you morning? Welcome to another program of Chinese Morning. I am your host, Idaki Amsterdam. It is 7 hours 25 on the 26th day of February in the year 2025. 2 days to the ending this month. And this is the second month of the year. We're going quick. We're going quick. Yes, so how are you been? How was I yesterday, last night, the night before? What went on for you yesterday? What gave you hope? How many of you have changed your cash grant check already? Are waiting for me, peace. You know, you got pay tithes 10%. Well, yes, cash grant. You know, I tell you, I like to observe and reflect on things. Yesterday, I was out in the city and all along the coast. Wherever you saw a bank, you saw a crowd. Wherever you saw a bank, you saw a crowd. And while the PPP will tell you that it is doing good for the Guyanese people with the cash grant, and they're happy to see those crowds, I will tell you that what I've seen is an indication of how poor Guyanese have become, how desperate for money Guyanese have become. In any society where people are financially comfortable, the receipt of a cash grant check would not have resulted in all of those lines at the banks, but more what you would have found is people depositing their checks. Usually a check has a 6 month life. 6 months a check can last for. I don't know how many persons in the society are aware of that. I heard people talking about 2 days and 3 days and 2 weeks. But any check that is issued, as far as I know, has 6 months before it becomes invalid. And so people got about 6 months to change their check. But from the time some people collect that check, they're looking to change it. Some people have gone to supermarkets, some have gone to gas stations, some have gone to hardware stores, and were charged as much as $5,000 to change a check. So you collect 100 and you pay 5,000 to change it, so $95,000 you only get 95% of the spoils. But when you look around and you see the rush with which people are going to have these checks changed, even at a high cost like $5,000, you understand quite well that people are desperate in this society for money. People are desperate to make ends meet. I had a youngster talking about using his money to pay his child's lessons fee that he was not able to pay for a while. So you go in and, eliminate the debt. If the PPP sees that as a feather in their caps, and citizens buy that, then I'm sorry for where we are. Because no society should be made this poor that people have to continue to live hand to mouth when we're running billions upon billions of dollars on a daily basis from oil production. The fat cats are getting fatter, and the ordinary man and woman sucking salt. But today is not mine to talk as much as I would like to talk. Professor David Hines is in the house today. And so we have a lot, I guess, to talk with Professor David Hines. Because a lot, this society continues to produce a lot of, I don't know if it's senselessness in government. Right? Professor, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Oh, good morning. Thank you for having me again.
How you do?
I'm all right. Hanging in.
Wonderful to know. Well, at least I'm happy to know that you're still present. You haven't been banished.
It will take 1 million like those who are threatening to banish me. I may probably have to banish them before.
All right, so as it goes, we've been looking on at what has been happening in the society and so on, and usually there's so many things to comment on. But let me ask you if there is any movement, if you're aware of any movement on the electoral front in terms of DCOM's preparation and
No.
whether or not we're closer to biometrics and a clean voters list.
No, not more than you or the public.
Okay, then let me ask you, I noticed Aubrey Norton has said, or the PNC representatives have said, that street protests or mass protests, I think that's the term used, for biometrics and a clean voters list is not off the table. But we are at February and elections are due maybe another, 9 months at most? What do you see changing?
No, you asking.
Protests for us possible.
Are you asking if you said 9 months? Are you saying that we should have street protests by now?
Pardon?
What's your question? You said we are 9 months away from election.
So the question is, mass protests are not off of the table for free and fair, a clean voters list and biometrics. And since we are just about 9 months away from elections and we haven't seen those mass protests, what are the likelihood that they will happen and what might have to really stimulate them?
I don't know the answer to those questions. You said the PNC said it's not off the table. I saw that myself, and I'm heartened by that.
Do you think at this late stage, I'm calling it late stage. Do you think at this late stage, mass protests for biometrics and
Nothing is too late in politics.
nothing is too late in politics. So you think it's quite possible it can be achieved?
Nothing is too late in politics.
All right.
What doesn't happen in a year or 10 years can happen in a day.
All right, so we've seen, well, Guyana just celebrated its 55th Republic anniversary, usually with the usual fanfare. We had the Republic Day mass tramp and so on and so forth. But when it came to what I will say the more official ceremony of flag raising, we learned that the opposition was not invited. And when questioned, apparently the powers that be seem to want to cast blame at the director of culture as the person who was faltered in that instance. But if we look back, we will see, as I would say, traditionally, once the PPP is in office, at least in the last 4 years, they have made it, if you ask me, the duty to not invite the opposition to these official functions. What is your take on this recent, let me call it spat over the non-invitation because they were made to, quote unquote, apologize? What's your take on this recent disrespect?
My answer is going to disappoint you. I welcome it.
I didn't hear you.
I said my answer will disappoint you. You're asking
Well,
me my take on the non-invitation of the opposition. And I say I welcome the government non-invitation to the opposition.
And why would you?
Because
this is a national observance.
Because
this is the nation's money being spent. Why?
Because there are still people in this society. There are still people on the opposition side who still feel that we are dealing with a normal government. Let the government demonstrate every day how bad-minded it is. My answer is to this. Sometimes in politics, you don't cry. You fight. And you let the opposition expose itself. The opposition will not miss anything by not being at the flag raising ceremony. What they're going to miss some orange juice and you know, being in by the camera, they're not missing much. Let the government expose itself, how petty it is. I wish they can do that every day until election. And this is not because I want their supporters to peel off from them and say, oh my, I'm not voting for the PPP anymore because they didn't invite the opposition. I don't think the PPP will lose votes from their hardcore supporters because of that. But what it will do, it will shore up some of our faltering supporters who still believe we are dealing with a normal government. Sometimes in politics, you have to play hardball politics. You are dealing, I think sometimes we think we are dealing with a normal government. We are not. They can all 6 more flag raising ceremony and don't invite the opposition. I welcome it. I'm a revolutionary. I'm not a poo-poo politician.
And we've also seen the hosting of the energy conference. And again, the opposition was left out of the doings at the energy conference. The conference is important as that, which basically discusses the country's energy needs and trajectory and possibilities and stuff like that. And I would say, just like the slight in the Republic anniversary non-invitation, like you said, the government is exposing its hands. But what's the response to a government that is showing that it is spiteful, as you say, a wicked, undemocratic, non-inclusive, and all of that. What is the response? I dare argue or ask in a normal society.
What's
And if Guyana can be considered a normal society.
Yes, Guyana is a normal society. And I welcome them not inviting the opposition. If the opposition so badly wanted an energy conference, organize one yourself. I don't care about their energy conference. I'm a member of the opposition. I don't care that I wasn't invited. There was nothing I was going to learn at that energy conference that would help me. That energy conference would not have ensured that African Guyanese and Amerindian Guyanese get more, or working class Guyanese get more of the oil money. I am missing nothing from that energy conference. Why do I care whether they invite me or not? All they're doing is showing their spitefulness. Let them show it. I am missing nothing. And by extension, I don't see what the opposition is missing. Look, in politics, we reach the politics in Guyana. We have to stop complaining. I think your question is what should be done? It's what we should always be doing, which is to fight to get the government out of the way. That is where our energy should be on. It shouldn't be a no flag raising and an energy conference and all of that to help the government with props to say we are a normal government, we are a Democrat. They're not damn democratic. And we should not assume they're democratic. Go to hell if you don't want to invite me at my own flag raising ceremony. The opposition should have organized their own flag raising ceremony at the Square of the Revolution or somewhere in Linden or Buxton or somewhere. We have to stop complaining and crying. I'm sorry. If we so badly wanted a flag raising ceremony to have our people, organize one at Linden, I'm sure it would have been packed. Organize one at the Square of the Revolution, it would have been packed. Organize one at Buxton. These are places where you have your supporters. If you so badly want, organize one.
But isn't that falling into the trap of sowing discord, sowing division in the society?
Kadaki, don't ask me those questions, please. Because you know those questions are not genuinely coming from you. What discord? Do you agree with me? If you agree with me, say yes, you agree with me. Don't ask me if that is so in discord. Those are PPP talking points.
Well, yeah, they are PPP talking points, but the fact is there are people who listen to the PPP.
I do not come on your show. I do not come on your show to answer PPP talking points. If I want to answer PPP talking points, I will ask Freddie Kissoon or somebody to say, invite me and ask me PPP talk. I come on your program to fight, not to answer PPP talking points. I am sorry.
And so let's talk about fighting. Following the WPA's most recent press conference, Jagdeo had his press conference, and basically he came out, as some people say, slugging at WPA and David Hines and threatening banishment. And if I remember clearly, his words were, people like those should be banished from society, not by locking them up or not by jailing them, or they should be gotten rid of out of society, not by jailing them.
By the sheer weight of the people, he said. When he
Right.
catch himself, he said, not by jailing, because the logic, he catch himself and said not by jailing, but the genie was out of the bottle. And the next day, Kip Nascimento wrote in the paper that Ogunsi and myself should be banished. The same word. Kip Nascimento is their PR consultant. So Kit says banish. Jack Dio, the numero uno, say banishment. So their thing. And I'm going to deal more with this on my program tonight. Let me let Kit Nascimento and Barra Jack Dio know that my people were here before their people. And my people built Guyana with their bare hands, without a cent. And nothing like them, whose foreparents came afterwards, will banish this African. If there is entitlement to Guyana, those who were there for 200 and odd years as slaves before the others came, they are first entitled. All of us are entitled. But the Amerindians are first entitled, and African are secondly entitled. And nothing like Kit Nascimento and Barra Jack Dio, who came after me, will banish me from a country that my people built with their bare hands. I am sorry. And that can be another headline and another ERC thing for me, but I'm letting know, and I'm going to say, I'm dealing with it more detail on my program. Didn't my people before me slave for this country? Now you look me in my face with scorn and want to eat up all my corn? Robert Nesta Marley. Trace those crazy ballheads out of tongue. I am quoting him. And I'm saying, neither Jack Dio nor Kit Nascimento, who came after me, will banish me from the country that I prepared for them to come. If you're talking, you're talking to yourself.
This response, Jack Dio's press conference stemmed from your comment that there are a lot of African Guyanese who are bottom lickers. And from the time that comment was made, what we have observed, as many have observed, is that comment somewhat has shown the PPP and their supporters in a frenzy, feeling that they need to castigate and as they say, banish David Hines for making such comments. But we have had, at least in my mind, similar sentiments have been expressed previously. And some may say that they're quite surprised at the current response of the PPP and their friends, families, and favorites. What might be responsible for that? This hectic, this frenzy surrounding your recent statements.
I'm not in their heads. I'm not in their conference rooms, so I can't know. What has caused the frenzy? But my understanding of politics and my understanding of Guyanese politics in particular is that what I said hit something that they did not want to come out into the public. That's how political people respond when they get catch or when they're being exposed. And if that is the case, I am so glad. If I can do it every day, be my guest. I will do it. That is my job. That is how I understand my job as an opposition activist, is to make the government uncomfortable, to disrupt whatever plans they have. It is my job to disrupt it. and let the chips fall wherever they may be. I know where the chips are falling on our side of the political fence. If there were 25 Africans who were awake and 75 were sleeping, I am sure close to 100 are awake now after their response to my whatever I said on my program. They have awakened African Guyanese. And if that was intended or unintended, be my guest. I will do it any day of the week, any hour of the day.
And so is it that awakening that you've caused has bothered them? Because from our information, the statistics from the last census are not looking good for the PPP. And so they seem to be on a mission to quote unquote capture African Guyanese votes to put them back in government. And since you made that statement and quote unquote created that awakening, is that why you would think that they're out to get you?
It is not out to get me. Put your mouth right. Out to get me? You have a chance to ask a different question. Out to get me? They're out to get themselves, not me. But to your real question, let me say this. It's much more complex than trying to get African Guyanese votes. The PPPs, they're not jackasses. The PPP will never bank their destiny on black votes. If they do it, they're stupid, and I know they're not stupid. Just as the PPP will never depend on the army and the police to ultimately protect them. They're not stupid. And that is why I always say to my opposition supporters, if you are banking your victory at an election on crossover from your enemy camp, on crossover voters from your enemy stronghold, you're a jackass. Am I saying that the PPP does not welcome African votes? No, that's not what I'm saying. Am I saying that we, opposition, do not welcome East Indian votes? No, that is not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if the opposition depend on Indian Guyanese votes to win an election, they are jackasses. And if the PPP depend on black people vote to win an election, they're jackasses. I know the PPP, there may be many things, but they're not jackasses. But here is what the PPP intends to do. The PPP intends to get some big names to cross over. And they're being successful at that. And as those big names will go over there and they would say the worst things about black people, they will go over there and they will try to entice a few black people with money. Because in their head, black people craven, black people hungry belly, and we are in need of little pittance more than anybody else. So just give them a little pittance. What they call development. Give them development, $100,000, $40,000 a fried rice. That's development for black people. Give them a $2 million contract to lay down some concrete in the village. That is development. They feel that is what black people do. And in the process of buying black people votes, they are not seeking to buy that vote or those votes to win an election. They're not dependent on that. They will welcome it, but they're not dependent on it. They're not depending on it. But what they want to do is to cause enough dissension within the ranks of African Guyanese that they will stay home and not vote for the opposition, that they will give up their rights, that they will crawl. You see, those who want to dominate our people, dominate us as a race, they just to see us crawl, even if we don't vote for them, just to see us crawl would be a victory for them. So in trying to buy the votes, they're trying to make us crawl. They're trying to make us grovel. If they can get some votes out of it, it's gravy. But their whole intention is to dominate us and to make us crawl, make us grovel. And they feel that now is the right time to do it. They have political power. They have economic power. They have the white people behind them. They feel that black people are at our weakest. We are divided as an opposition. We have black leaders who are afraid to say certain things. They calculate that they are at their biggest strength. They are at their strongest. And we are at our weakest. We don't own the economy. Less than 10% of the economy is in African hands. Our political leaders are divided. Our young people are dropping out of school like flies. They are impoverished. Our people are. If the poverty rate is 48%, they know that it's something like 60% among African Guyanese. So they think that we are at our weakest. And they think they're at their strongest. They have 90% of the economy in their hands. They're their friends and favorites. They have political power in a system that grants 100% political power with 51% of the vote. So they have political power, they have systemic power, they have economic power. They have the white people behind them, you know? The white people help to put them in power. So they are the strongest. So if ever there is a chance to weaken and control black people, it's now. They know that if this game stretches out for another year, another 2 years, by then black people will wake up. So they want it to be done quickly. They want to capture us as quickly as possible. So when David Hines opens his mouth and uses the language to catch their attention, to catch our people's attention, and through the language send the message to black people, wake up, and send the message to them, I am waking up black people to fight back against you. Set the house in confusion. Set the house in confusion. We got to get rid of him. We got Banishi. We got Banishi. We got the rest, so we want them. They're towing the line. Some of them would not use such language. But we know that is the language to wake up the people. And David Hines and the WPA take it upon themselves to do it. They must be banished. They have no place in Guyana politics. I have not been in politics 50 years. I have not made the sacrifice of my country for 50 years. For any damn just come, get more head than me, as we would say in the village. Get more head, more political head than me, not me. I always in front of them. As a political activist, you must always be in front of your adversaries, not reacting to them. Let them react to you. Let them react to David Hines. Let them react to the WPA, not the other way around. And by God and by the ancestors' willing, they're dancing to me tune. Take them. For once, dance to our tune. Don't every day be crying, oh, they didn't invite me to energy conference. They didn't invite me to this. No, let them react to you. Let them dance to you. Set the agenda. What have they been talking about for the last 3 weeks? David Hines' words. How you like it? A box may come from.
And so let's segue as Mr. Jordan likes to say. It's 8 o'clock. It's a minute to the 8 o'clock hour on the 26th day of February in the year 2025. And so David Hines, Professor Dr. David Hines, is also the presidential candidate and co-leader of the Working People's Alliance. So naturally, we are approaching elections. Coalition is in the air. It is known that the WP has been having discourses and signed off on working with the PNC in the next elections. Any developments on that front, Dr.?
No. Unless unless I am given the mandate to speak, even if there are developments, I would not speak of them on this forum. If there are developments, the parties will speak together. And so the answer to that question is no. But I just want to say, look, WPA going into a coalition for the election is not just about election. It's about something broader. This country is sick. The PPP, has almost destroyed this country. And winning an election is not going to be the end of our work. So we are going into a coalition to win the election, not as an end in itself, but as a means towards an end. The end is to fix our country. The end is to ensure that our windfall is distributed equitably. The end is for our ethnic groups to live together in peace. The end is for our ethnic groups to own Guyana and not to leave Guyana open for people from other countries to come and take Guyana away from us. And so therefore, our coming together with the other opposition groups is to first win the election and use the power at our disposal to do what the PPP is not doing. And that is to bring our country together, to save our country from people coming from outside and taking over our country, to ensure that our people get what they deserve, all of our people. And so the election is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. We have to rid Guyana of the PPP in order to save the PPP and its supporters. The PPP supporters are in a chokehold by the PPP. They are forced by the logic of our ethnic politics to give support to the PPP for things that they do not believe in. This is the way ethnic politics operate. And so our winning the election is not just for African Guyanese, it's also to open up space for Indian Guyanese and Amerindians and the other ethnic groups in Guyana to get it right. We are not going to get it right under the PPP. They do not believe in sharing. They believe in domination. They believe in banishing. They believe in not inviting the opposition, treating the opposition as aliens. Don't be surprised if the PPP returns to power. They give Amerindians and African Guyanese green cards to say, you all are Guyanese, but you all are aliens. You all are resident aliens. Some will say, David Hines, you're frightening people. It is true. It is true. So we have to remove them from power. WPA by itself cannot remove them electorally. Maybe the PNC by itself could remove them electorally. The AFC by itself can't remove them electorally. The logic says that when the three parties and others come together, we stand a better chance of removing them electorally. And while I'm on this, look, people have a right to belong to any party and support any leader. But people are telling me about Mohammed and Mohammed and Mohammed. And I say, there we go again. Looking for people and I'm speaking now to African Guyanese, looking for somebody outside of the ethnic group to save us. Look at your own leaders. I have nothing against Mr. Mohammed. I don't know him. They say just share outing to black people and poor people. Very nice. But when black people start taking their gaze off their own leader, their own African Guyanese leaders, and are looking for leaders of other ethnic group to save them, you're all walking into trouble. I say again, the objective of saving African Guyanese and the way you African Guyanese save Africa is by yourself. Not to look at other people. Dr. Jeffrey last night reminded us that Nelson Mandela had to say the same thing to South Africans. You had to say the ANC, they welcome support from the communists. They welcome support from, the liberals in South Africa. But ultimately, he knew that it was black South Africans who had to overthrow apartheid. And black people have to stop this thing of always well, not all of us, some of us, well-meaning. And like I said, this has nothing to do with Mohammed. Mohammed, I understand, has done some good things for black people. Some poor black people in and around Georgetown. And I say thank you to the brother for that. But that does not mean that black people must some or the other think that Mr. Mohammed is their savior. I'm talking it black. Black, black, black. We have enough leaders on our side to lead our people and to save our people and to lead us to freedom.
And it is that possibility, I would believe, of the coalition being able to rally the people together, bring the people together, removing the PPP from government, that has the PPP up in arms to, I would say, drive a wedge between the WP and the PNC, because in all of the discourses about your comment as the bottom licking comment, I see tremendous effort being placed by the PPP to quote unquote drought Aubrey Norton to condemn and criticize your stance. Are we, well, I haven't seen Aubrey Norton done that. But I've seen comments from others within the PNC camp, I should say. Is there any falling out as a result of those?
I don't know about falling out, but I can tell you two things. If PNC members condemn me, that will not stop me from supporting the coalition. If they throw me and throw the WP and say, David Hines said black people are who go over to the PPP and buy votes to the PPP are Lake Bottom, and they throw David Hines and WP out of the coalition, David Hines will still support the coalition in the coming election. Let me say that up front. And secondly, I want to say, if Aubrey Norton or Nigel Hughes or any black leader utter anything that the PPP finds offensive, David Hines will not say, I wouldn't use that language. David Hines will say, I stand in solidarity with my brother or my sister, as the case may be, full stop. I did it when Amanza Walton, very early in the PPP regime, tried to banish that sister. I stood up and I said, I am with her. It don't matter whether I agree with your language or don't. Language is not important. Our message. So let me repeat. If they drive a wedge and Norton and Nigel Hughes say they don't want to be in a coalition with David Hines and the WPA, or they will only be in a coalition with the WPA if David Hines is not on, I will still support the coalition. That is for the PPP. Let them know that early o'clock. And this is now for my brother and sister leaders. If you all say anything and the PPP try to use it to hang you all and to drive a wedge, David Hines will be in solidarity with you all, unconditional. I wouldn't qualify my solidarity with the language you use, and I wouldn't use that language, and I wouldn't do this. I am in solidarity with you, period. You are my brother. Whether I agree with your language or not, that is for me, in me inside. That is not for them. I am determined to create a new black politics in Guyana. That's the way it's going to be.
Thank you, Dr. Hines. It is now 11 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. I think it's an opportune time to open up the line. Is there anything you wish to address before I do?
Open up the line. I have spoken enough. Like to
the lines are open. 6225923 is the number to call. Well, it goes without saying that I stand in solidarity with my leader, Dr. Hines. Maybe some would say my partner in crime, and so on and so forth. But I stand in solidarity definitely with Dr. Hines and the WPA. I stand in solidarity with anybody, as a matter of fact, who would like to see the back of the PPP. One of our strong supporters suggested to me yesterday that I should invite a certain person or persons to the program. And I said, no, they will never come to this program. And the question was, why not? And my answer is simple. Anybody who seeks to divide the opposition is not welcome on my platform, because I stand for solidarity with the opposition, and I believe the opposition is what will remove the PPP from government. And if you're standing in the way of that, I will not give you a platform to stand on. Call it you like.
Yes, good morning to you. And good morning to you, my big brother, and to all my other black brothers and sisters in Guyana. We have two questions for you, but I will remove from that question. But I have to start with child that, oh Lord, the word bothered me. But anyway, Mr. David, let me announce this here to you and believe Flash Garden, not because Flash Garden have fourth grade education. God choose you as Joshua, and God choose Adinatu as Moses. You too have to lead Guyanese people to victory. Son, I love to give credit where it belongs to. I know my leader make a mistake, but it is not too late to correct his mistake. The mistake what my leader made is when he used a word I said that PNC and AFC will choose their word to say that was a no-no. He's supposed to say exactly, hey, I stand with my brother. So I will give you credit for mentioning that. It's not because Flash Garden had fourth grade education. My grandmother taught me well. And Mr. Lewis from Buxtonian taught me well too. Now, yesterday I mentioned something about, are you still there?
Yes.
Or they cut me off?
We are listening.
My grandma teach me that she said, my grandson, two words bound together, good and bad. And you must face both. But choose it because God gives each and everyone a choice to live and a choice to choose good thing and bad thing. You must choose the good things. And if you mix up with the bad people, you must be one to teach them. Because the blind can't lead the blind. Yesterday I talked about the good thing Mr. Jordan did. But this, because I mentioned what a teenager should do. Bless their mother and grandmother in them left with something. A black woman come out and challenge me where she's a bad one. The black one said, Flash Garden, the grandparents, they grand too. You see the difference? You see how negative we are in life, that when we are punished, you don't business what the grandparents have, business that the grandparents will always be there for you. And that is our biggest problem. And consular check. I heard from Mel mouth that the military had a check the last 3 days. Mel stop doing that nonsense to black people. Stop encourage black man with putting nonsense to them. No government check. The most time government check just last is 6 months or 1 year. You see, if Mel, this is not personal, but if Mel used to collect government check, she wouldn't know in America that check was last 6 months or 1 year, not 3 days. This is our problem. We're getting our people them confused in Guyana. And people don't want to step down and say, no. Not check the last 3 days. Why Mel doing this nonsense to black people in Guyana? And one more thing before we go. Black people in Guyana, where were Mohammed the first 22 years? When you guys were punishing, that left, I just said, go all over the Caribbean to work to send money to support your children. Where were Mohammed then? You guys don't need him now. You guys will need it. When I told you was cutting at you and leaving one open, and nobody was there for sit it and clean it up. Mohammed is protect his wishes. Mohammed is hiding behind young people, black people. Why Jack Joe is not taking him to court and arrest him yet? Why? Because you working with Jack Joe. Mohammed is testing. You want to see if you could get 20,000 black votes. Young boy because he's always targeting young people. And that's what belongs to Jack Joe because Cody people do not bust up their vote. They don't spend on the life themselves. Because I always said that even not sacrificing people that don't cross the vote. And PNC stop doing that nonsense. Don't sacrifice us for that people do not bust up their vote. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your call. Dr. Hines, you care to respond to anything personal?
I just want to thank Flash Gordon for his exhortations, and I want to say that my comments are in no way a rebuke of Brother Norton. Somebody says on the program here that Mr. Norton is between a rock and a hard place, and indeed he is, you know, and he has to choose his words carefully and so on. And I say, God bless the brother. He didn't condemn me. I am just saying that I am free to do it differently. And that is when you're a revolutionary, you are free. All right? That I say, if you don't want me on the slate, I still supporting you because the objective is greater. And secondly, that if you touch one of my brother, whether verbally or otherwise, I am with my brother unreservedly. No qualification, but I am free because I am a revolutionary. And I'm saying that a revolutionary is one who wants not cosmetic. We don't deal with cosmetic. We deal with the real deal, and we deal with fundamental change and transformation. That's the politics that I believe. So I am free. I am never going to be between a rock and a hard place. All right? So it's not a condemnation of Brother Norton. I understand the situation, you know, and, you know, he gave the best answer in the circumstances. But they dare not bring that question to me because I will put them in their place.
Caller, you know the rule by now. I would acknowledge you eventually. Why you fretting and find your spot? Good morning, you're live. You're on.
Good morning. Morning, Kadaki. Morning, Dr. Dr. Hines, I stand behind you 100%, and I will repeat everything you say. I will echo everything you say, and I will continue to do it. I don't care who it hurts. I don't care. But let's talk about this Mohammed thing. I've been having a discussion with some friends. Mohammed is on a PR campaign to clean up himself. And who is the collateral damage? The collateral damage is black people. Going to be black people going to the poll. Because this is it. Mohammed didn't tell nobody if he's running. Mohammed didn't come out and say, look, I am running. Right? Everybody's calling him President Mohammed. But if Mohammed don't come out, right, and say that he's running, you know what's going to happen? All those black people that see him as President Mohammed, they will not vote. Who that's going to hurt? That's going to hurt us. So we have a void to fill as leaders in the community. We have to go in and talk to those young people. We have to educate our young people. We have to stay aligned with them. Because we're not filling that void. If it means that you just go by their corner shop and sit down and drink something with them, eat something with them, buy something for one of the kids. You know, they got a barbecue, you go and hang out with them, let them see your presence. You don't have to get money to make an impact. You don't have to get money. We need to fill that void. Other than that, we're going to stall. He's going to take or disenfranchise, as far as I'm concerned, a whole lot of black people if he ain't come out and say, no, I'm running. You understand? If he's running, the whole heap of black people still will be disenfranchised. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your call. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kinaki Amsterdam. I noticed a few voice notes, so why not?
Pleasant good morning to you, Honorable Dr. Hines. Dr. Hines, so said, so done. Dr. Hines, you is power. They have nobody in this country never become so much of black people. And if black people can get it right now, I don't know what's going to happen to me. Dr. Hines, I don't know what's going to happen to us in this country. With all that this instant government are doing to African people in this country, it's an embarrassment to our black people. It's an embarrassment to our black people. Why our black people can't rise up stand up and understand what is going on with this instant and most racial government in this country. Why we black people can understand that means you are a Farrakhan for Guyana. You are a Farrakhan for African people in this country. They turn it twisted. You are a Farrakhan. You understand me, Dr. Heinz? Dr. Heinz, look what Guyana is walking up faster today. Look what Guyana with Abraham Traore. Look what Guyana. And I said, black people don't have no, black people can't run country. It's a black man that is walking up faster right now. That tearing all South Africa down right now. Everybody wants to look up to this man. And we gotta watch America. We gotta watch Donald Trump. Donald Trump that he want to go after these African countries. Them. Because you see the things that the white men call the drying out of our African countries. In them countries and our country, they poor as a threat. Come on, Guyanese people. Come on, Guyanese people, right around the opposition. Don't matter this fellow when he jumping out and black people coming on TV and picking them up. Black people, when you are going to wake up. When you are going to wake up, Guyanese people. Come on, black people. This country, don't get down a dangerous road at this point in time. We're going to look for this instant government go back in power. What will happen to especially black people and the Indians that don't support this instant and backward and racial and thieving government. These people want to be locked up and put in jail whatsoever. This government change, you got to go in jail. We're going to jail these people for all the patrimony that is given away and thief in this country, Guyanese people. They'll be right around the opposition. Dr. Heinz, stop calling them a smart party. Dr. Heinz, the quality of support you get. From saying, look at James one. And this guy from Linden. I don't know what Mr. Arvid is doing with that guy here. That guy flipping and flapping every minute. And we got to watch the mayor. We got to watch these guys. We got to watch these guys in the small parties. We got to watch them. Guyanese, if the small party don't join the coalition, do not support these small parties. Got to go put the PPP back in power. Then you're going to have one of the most awesome day.
The lines remain open 6225933 is the number to call. Okay, any comments?
No, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the
Pardon?
Thank you to the caller before.
Call it on. Call it on.
Yeah, neighbor, morning, Dr. Heinz. Pleasant good morning to you, Dr. Heinz. Pleasant good morning to you, Brother Kadaki, and all the viewers. Yes, Dr. Heinz, I'm so grateful, and I want to say thank you so much for the mighty works that you're doing for us as Guyanese, especially our four Guyanese brothers and sisters. Thank you. I know it takes a man with a lot of heart, knowing that even you're putting a life online for us. And I see you as a true politician. You use no excuse. You put out your all. You put out your all for the cause, not just for black people, but for Guyanese in the cold who is being tormented, who is being pushed down, who is being marginalized by this wicked and evil regime. What I want to ask also of you that time is that when you go to the ERC, whensoever that time comes, please do not give them an ounce of treatment that like how we give to James Bond. Don't let them off the hook. I know you got the ability to deal with them, and we would like you to deal with them. And we would also like if the investigation with the ERC should do like on a live or should be recorded. Deal with the case here for us. Thank you so much for your works. Thank you so much, Brother Gaddafi, for your works. Keep it up.
Thank you for your call. What are you on?
Hey, good morning, Kadaki. Good morning, Dr. Hines. Dr. Hines, I have a question for you. This guy Kadaki does give me a hard time. He's don't take my call sometimes. Anyway, Dr. Hines, a question for you. On your comment about the lake bottom, you single out Juan, Craig, and the rest of that. Do you think Henry Jeffrey is a lake bottom too? Please answer my question. Thank you.
No, the answer is no.
Good morning to one and all. Good morning to Dr. David Hines, for the Amsterdam. Mr. David Hines, you have said it well, brother. You have said it well. You know, when I send my voice to Kodaki program, and I said black people are very stupid sort of people, he must just feel bad and feel insult because he has his education. Doesn't mean that I was talking to Kodaki or the educated ones then. But the majority of black people are very stupid sort of people. That's why put the people's guys a black man stupid. I don't vex for them. Imagine, excuse me. I always say that best I be punished by my own than before I am punished by someone else. Because my own is going to punish me with some sort of caution. Right? How could black people look outside of their own ethnic group for a leader? Do these people really believe that another man got their heart, that they just a heart? Black man, how black man? Why is the police are black man? How is that stupid people? I not get sense all the years and the decades I live in the footprints, and it's so bad time. Black people, watch up and I say, yeah. Mr. David Hines, I support you in everything you said and in every statement you make. I am on your side, my brother. No matter what comes your way, I am on your side. And that's why I always say the WPA is the only party that track my vote come in this election. No other party. I thank you for your time.
Thank you for your voice note. Dr. Hines, feel free to comment at any time.
Okay, good morning. Dr. Hines, good morning to you, my brother. Listening to you last night and Dr. Henry Jeffrey. What a great show it was. I enjoyed it. Dr. Hines, if the PPP is doing such a great and wonderful job, and they have you, Mark Benchuk, Kalaki, and all the rest of the shows that align with the opposition, you all are liars. All you're not spreading good information, all you're lying. If they are doing such a great and wonderful job, why they don't want to accept a clean voters list and biometric? If you doing such a great job, I don't think that should be an issue. But it is an issue because you know deep down in your heart that the foolishness that is going on. And Dr. Hines, you mentioned something this morning that I always take a note of, that this government is not an ordinary government. Dr. Hines, I will tell you this morning. The PPP could do what they want. They could say what they want. There is a force by the name of God. When he put the hand on something, no man can interfere. When he opened doors, no man can close. When he give a verdict, no man can question. Dr. Hines, I like your spirit. I like your determination. I like your direction. But We need more help. We need more help. I am out. I'm listening.
Thank you for your voice. Dr. Knight?
No. Go ahead with the cause. Thanks to the caller that we need more help. I understand where he's coming from. The caller before used the word stupid, and I know what he means when he says stupid. Some people may want to take what he said, use the word stupid out of context. But if you look at the context in which he used the word stupid, he used the word stupid not in the literal sense. So he's not saying that black people are literally stupid, but he's making a fundamental point that that sometimes we err on not on the side of our own destiny. We err outside of our own destiny, and that is where leadership comes in, to really bring our people back along, as the old people would say, along the straight and narrow way. So I welcome the callers and their comments.
Thank you. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. It's 8 hours 34 in Guyana on the 26th day of February, 2025.
Yes, Oldies fans, Club Twilight and Blue Ribbon present Thursday Dancing Oldies. Real big people oldies from Thursday, February 27th at Club Twilight Sideline and Buxton. Yes, come on out. Let's go way back to the past. Thursday night oldies at Club Twilight Sideline and Buxton North with Blue Ribbon the Boss and the Club Twilight family. Come on down.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow night is Oldies with Blue Ribbon the Boss. We're expecting you. I'm looking out for you. I would like to see some of you. You raise your steps in the sand of the table. Some of you show some of that old time style, and so on and so forth. But we're still with our clients, and we're still talking about what's happening in the society and the behavior, or I dare say misbehavior, of the PPP. Another call.
Good morning.
Call it out.
Good morning, Good morning. Dr. in the coalition with our opposition MPs and all of them. I would like them to hit the ground running to get the message out to the young. Because a lot of young people, they are still not voting. And you only be able to get these people, you gotta get the opposition, the MPs, all the MPs, they hit the ground running and reach out to these people and talk to these people, let these people know, you know, the position that we wanted to take. I don't want to mention on the program, but Gaddafi, I could call you back later on and talk to you concerning certain things.
Okay, if that's your choice, then who am I?
I will make myself known to you, and you will know which direction I'm coming. But I thank that guy for what he's doing, because he's a political side. You have the experience and he's working. I support him 100% what he's doing. I have nothing against him, because he's talking nothing outside of the law or outside the constitution. Talking it how he sees it and what happened, that is what he mentioned. I support 100% for what he's doing. So I want to tell that guys continue, keep up the good work and continue doing what you are doing.
to get the message over there to our people. That's our conclusion for this morning, Mr. President.
Thank you, Colin. And okay, I think a previous scholar raised the issue of Mohammed and black people, shouting Mr. President and so on and so forth. Wherever this guy turns up, there's usually a crowd and the big hurrah about Mohammed for president and so on. We know from the news that this individual and his family were or are still apparently under sanction by the US. The PPP in recent days have been sparing no minute in highlighting to the Guyanese people that this person is under sanction and anybody who associates with them can face a similar fate. Yet, I noticed from their public stances, they're apparently trying to hang the Mohammed around the PT, around Aubrey Norton and the PNC's neck. Like they are also in response to him visiting certain communities that were perceived as the stronghold, publishing statements to discredit him, publishing statements to say, well, these people complaining to this man are paid actors. What is your take on this, I would say, desperation on the part of the PPP when it comes to the Mohammed?
I will never join with the PPP to condemn anybody, including the Mohammeds. I'm very clear about that. All right? My message is not to the Mohammeds nor about the Mohammeds. My message to black people is you have to be calculating in everything.
And the behavior or identity.
Yes, you have to be calculating in everything you do. And you are in an ethnic contestation. And you cannot look for your political salvation outside of your ethnic leadership. You just can't, because your competitors are not doing it. Indian Guyanese are not looking for their salvation outside of the Indian community. And African Guyanese need to do that. If Mr. Mohammed brings something positive, he should be welcomed. He should be welcomed. But this holding up of him as the savior of our people is what I have a problem with. If Mr. Mohammed wants to join the opposition camp, we should welcome him. I have no problem with that, right? I want to be extremely clear about that. What I'm saying to African Guyanese, you're at a critical point in your history, and you're not going to get out of the hole that you're in, the economic hole, the political hole, the spiritual and cultural hole, by looking for leadership outside your group. Looking for leadership outside your group will only make sense if other people are looking for leadership outside their group. But no other ethnic groups are looking for leadership outside their ethnic group. Amerindians, because they don't have a steady Amerindian leadership that has come forward and said, politically, we are representing Amerindians. Amerindians are forced. But if you notice, the Amerindians spread their vote around. So they are in a peculiar situation. But African Guyanese have leaders. And they must look to their leaders for salvation. Again, I repeat, if Mr. Mohammed is genuine about joining the opposition camp, I have absolutely no problems with that. No, I'm not getting into his problems with the law and so on. That will work itself out. That is outside of my remit. But I am just saying to African Guyanese, you cannot and should not look for leadership leadership outside of your group, not in the kind of ethnic environment that we have.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for holding. You on.
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Ikes. Good morning, Kadaki. Dr. Ikes, thank you for the good work that you are doing. I know you'll continue to do good work for us. And good morning to all guys. One, the money that the government using to host the energy conference and the flag raising, they are not PPP money, it's the state money. Right? It ain't coming out of PPP pocket that they could do what they want. Right? So doing damage control now, this it's supposed to get a reaction. Somebody needs to get fired. Even the minister and even down to the president, right? At the NG conference, he's supposed to invite the opposition. Right? Because that is the state money using is not PPP money that they say they're taking out and keeping a rally, a PPP rally. Everything that is the state. And one, could I send you a video that a road, how they're doing a road with the shoulders and how they surface it. So you could, anytime, you could look at it and you could show the road builders, them, the small contractors, them who building road, that they could work with the same instruction and do a proper road, and we will get good road in there. That is all I have to say. And I think one more thing I'll say was what? Oh, the Doherty dozen. I think the Doherty dozen should pay back that 25% that they give themselves.
Thank you,
Right?
caller.
At the ERC, they should pay back that money. Because nobody ain't get 25%. Because if you put up, they get 10 and 8. Right? But they give themselves 25% for 1 year. And I feel the opposition could call for even not even the paying back, that they should step down. All right, you have a good day.
Thank you. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. Caller, you're on. Caller, you're on.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Kurapti. Morning, Mr. Hines. I'm calling to let Mr. Hines know that James Bond, the umbrella man, was with Mohammed. And all of a sudden, he swing from Mohammed and gone to PPP. Because PPP is the one that make Mohammed get sanctioned. Jack Hill is the one that make Mohammed get sanctioned. And James Bond is another critic because he used to be getting the sweet from Mohammed. And after he can't get the sweet no more, he decided to swing. But Mohammed was a PPP. And I feel that Mohammed is not with PPP anymore because the true PPP make the two Mohammed what they're doing there because they're scared of it. So Mohammed, what we want Mohammed to do is to answer some of the questions that people ask me because everybody looking for Mohammed. But Mohammed not saying if he's on a side or if he's going to run or not in the all he's doing is just smiling. So a lot of people is on Mohammed's side, a lot of black people is on Mohammed's side, a lot of Indian people is on Mohammed's side, and that is what the PPP is scared about because they don't know where Mohammed is coming from. But I know Mohammed is not for them because Mohammed was in bed with them before and they torn against him just like how the umbrella man torn against him and torn against AP and his own party. Because look what the umbrella man is doing during the 2020 election. He hired a whole truck and they're driving around and all this kind of thing. And now he's on the other side. So people just got to get faith and listen and learn. A lot of people just jump in with stupid conclusions. They're not learning. And this is the problem with these people. They're like foul. You just chase them from the carnival and you turn your back, they come right back here. This is the problem with these people, and this is what they got to learn. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your call.
Good morning, Contractual listeners. I always say from the first day, the opposition parliamentarian being served no purpose in parliament, they get out to the different regions and try to educate the opposition supporters in every way they can. They have to do it now.
It's 12 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. Dr. Hines, I know on many mornings you usually have a long wrap up. So would you do us the honors?
You're putting me stomach plum. You want to wrap up? You want an early morning? It's always a pleasure to be on the program and to hear from. You want an early morning? It's always and to hear from our people. This conversation has to always be a two-way conversation, from you to us, and from we to you, the people. And it gives me strength when I hear from our people, even when you're critical of us. That's your right, to be critical of those of us who have put ourselves up as leaders, or you have anointed as leaders. And we have erred in the past by not listening to our people. And I have to tell you, I'm a very keen listener. And you all motivate me as much as I motivate you all. Let us stay put. Let us stay strong. We are at a critical hour, and what we do today will determine whether our children and our grandchildren look at us kindly. All of us, wherever we are part of this struggle. As Martin Carter said, this I've learned: today a speck, tomorrow a hero. Hero or monster, you are consumed. Like a jig shakes the loom. Like a web is spun the pattern. All are involved. All are consumed. Big love to all of you. See some of you all, if not all of you all, tonight on Politics 101.
Thank you, Dr. Hines, and thank you, viewers, for staying tuned. You're still tuned because we have 9 minutes to the end of the program. And so let me remind you that tomorrow night is the oldies at Club Twilight. Ensure you come down and support the oldies. Blue Ribbon, the boss, is in the house. I saw some people asking recently, Blue Ribbon, the boss, is still around. Yes, Blue Ribbon, if the boss is still around and still providing very good entertainment. So come down and have a good time. Also support the program, MMG 6225933 Zell. 1-862-373-5187 in the name of Yowet Downer, and the Cash App $CAMS TV. What will show up there is Rams Communication. Okay, so please do your strength. Like I usually say, to whom much is given, much is expected. And so if you ain't giving much, don't expect anything. All I do, before I leave, let me shout out the ERC. They're going to get their hands full to this election season, A lot of people are coming out and, the PPP and the trolls, they continue to do the thing. So, let's remember the ERC. Give them our prayers, 50% people.
sit down at home, decided to watch some TV. Listening to the news by Gordon Mosley. And listening to the things that he say he tracking tonight. Paying close attention to make sure I hear it right. But when I hear the things that he mentioned on the news, I had to declare, them kind of thing got me confused. I hear some things where the ERC noticing, and it convinced people that people ain't learning nothing. We hear so many times about them big name calling, and they say ERC pretend that they didn't learn nothing. But once you're black, and you just decide to say a word or two, bet your life on that, they say ERC coming for you. Listen to the things you just hear on social media. Only one set of people allowed to talk in one Guyana. I still say nothing, black people in learning. But this is my concern. I hope one day black people will learn. Something about this ERC that I would like to know. If any of its members happens to be black people, and if that is the case, I want them to answer this call. Tell me how come none of them ain't got no voice at all. You're showing signs of weakness and you're afraid to be fair, and we see the same thing keep happening year after year. And the day will come when all this nonsense will stop. That will be the day when black people decide to wake up. Not so long ago, something terrible happened. This young Indian man went to kill out all black people by poison. But if his shoes was on the other foot, would have been a big threat. But up to this day, this ERC can do nothing as yet. How come it's only black people committing cybercrime? When pretty on social media fussing people all the time. I still saying black people in learning. But one day will come when the entire table will turn. Plenty of these issues we see they fail to condemn, because these people think that the law is only for them. And anybody else who decide to file a complaint, they go call you a racist and don't want to hear nothing. Plenty complaint from time to time has been brought to their attention, but because of this one-sided cybercrime is why they don't show any concern. There's only one set of people that they really care about, and black people must take the abuse and shut them out. Kidaki Amsterdam went to court just recently for an issue that was highlighted by the same ERC. And with breakneck speed, the police decide to jump on his case. Without a search warrant, they went and search up the man's place. Let us all agree that black people under attack. Different laws for you and me just because we black. I still singing. Black people in London. To all my black friends, we must put a stop to all this nonsense. Cybercrime laws to keep people silent, just to make sure nobody criticizes this government. And while that is a very clear case of dictatorship, it is no surprise that the ERC ignoring it. Why only the chosen few is allowed to have things their way, when people like me and you must have nothing to say? And when ministers in the government start to launch their attack, you never hear this ERC come out and talk about that. They send a policeman all the way to New York. This fella went up there to serve a customer man with forward. Under this thing, this government decide to fabricate a case, but like they forget the warning they get from black t-shirt jails. The vice president described that he use a shallow life. Because of this kind of abuse, he don't have a wife. I still singing. Black people in learning. Just the other day, I would a man see help is on the way.